Hello everyone, Nikhil this side from Coding Beam. So in this video we will learn about the loops and how to use the loops in the TypeScript. So about the loops are a block of code that are executed a several number of times. And we have three types of loop in the TypeScript. So the first loop are the for loops, and second we have the while loops, and then we have the do while loops. So why we need the loops here? So to automate the things. So now we write the loops to automate a thing like if we have to write a prime numbers from 1 to 100, so we can write within a for loop like from 1 to 100 we have to write a prime numbers. Or if we write a prime numbers by the console.log, so then you will see how difficult it would be to write that. And to execute a block of code specified or sometimes unspecified number of times, we need the loops. And if we are using the for loops and just with a simple for loops, then it will be the specified number of times. And if we are using a while loops, then it will be an unspecified number of times until the condition is true. So they are executed on the basis of a condition. So now we will see about some loops in the Visual Studio Code and how to use the loops. So now we are in the Visual Studio Code, and now the first loop is the for loop, and the for loop is used to execute a block of code for a given number of times which is specified by a condition. So the syntax of the for loop is first it will be the for, then we have to write the initialization, and the initialization is like an expression which is evaluated once before the loop begins. And typically you can use the initialization to initialize a loop counter. So first the counter will be like the let I equals to the 0. So the initialization is done. And the second thing, we need to specify the condition like for how many times or when the condition will be true. Until then the loop will be executed. So like the condition will be like here, like the for I equals to the 0, and then till the I less than 10. So then it will be the second condition. I think there will be an expression. So till then what we have to do? So let I equals to the 0 until the I less than equals to the 10. So then we have to just like increment the I. So the I plus plus, it will just increment the I. So the loop is doing like the initializing with the 0, and it will run from the 0 to 9 because the I, so when the I will be less than 10, so it will stop, and then it will be the I plus plus. So it is now moving from the 0 to 9, and then once it will be equals to the 10, so the loop will be stopped. So because now the condition will not be met. So now till then, if I will now just console.log the I here, and if I will now save, and if I will now run this again, tscapp.ts, and if I will now run the node app.js again, so if I will now maximize the compiler, so then you will see it will run from the 0 to 9, like the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 till the 9, because now, so when the I will be incremented after the 9, it will be the 10. So whenever it will go to the loop again, like if the I is less than 10, then it will be false. Then the loop will be now stopped. So these are about the for loops and how to use the for loop. So now we have the two more loops within the for, and the first loop is the for of loop, and the second loop is the for in loop. And the for of loop is used to iterate and access the elements of an array or list or an object or the string. And it is used to iterate over all of the elements within the array or a string. Like if I will now remove this loop, and if I will declare the string, let's string, and the type will be the string of this, and it will be equals to like the Nikhil. And if I will now just save, and then if I will write here the for of loop, like the for, the syntax will be like the first we have to declare and initialize a variable like the const, and the const it will be like the const to like the name or n, and it will be used here the syntax as the of. So the const n of, and then the variable name which is the string. So it will iterate over the string now. So it will go to the NIKHIL, and it will just console.log, and it will return the n here. So if I will now just console.log the n here, and if I will now save and run again, so then you will see it will iterate over this string. So then you will see NIKHIL is now returned through the for of loop. So now these are about the for of loops, and we can also declare some arrays also, and it will declare and it will just return the array elements from that. So like if the array has the 3 elements like 1, 2, 3, so it will return from the 1 to 3. So it will iterate over all of the elements of a string, array, tuple, list or anything. And then we have a for in loop in that. And the for in loop is another form of the for of loop, and the for in loop is another type of the for loop in which it can be used with an array or list or tuples also. And the for in loop iterates through a list or a collection, and it returns an index and not the elements. So the difference between the for of and the for in, like the for of loop returns the element and the for in loop returns the index. So if I will use here the for in loop with that, for n in that, and if I will now just save, so then you will see, so then now you will see it is now returning from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because the Nikhil has the 6 elements. So the 0 to 5. So these are about the difference between the for of and the for in loops in that. So now we will see about the while loops which we have there. So now we will see about the while loop, and the while loop is another type of loop that checks for a specified condition before beginning to execute the block of statements, and the loop runs until the condition value is met. So the condition expression check for a specified condition before running the block of code, and the while loop always runs with the unspecified number of times. So the example of the while loop, like if I will use a real-time example, so if I will create a new file index.html, and if I will now run here the default syntax of the HTML, and then if I will now just link here the script tag with the body, and the SRT will be the app.js, and now we have to go to the app.ts file, and then if I will just declare a new prompt like the let prompt value, and it will be equals to the prompt, and the prompt is used to get the value from the window. So the prompt will be like enter name, and it will do the enter the name. So if I will now just check this value, so that the while, so the syntax of the while be the while and then the condition, and then we have to write the expressions until the condition is met, the while will run. So now the prompt value will not be equals to my name, which is the Nikhil, and if I will now just inside the loop, if I will just give like the prompt equals to the prompt again, and it will make the enter your name please. So if I will now save, and if I will just console.log after the loop is executed, so it will be like the executed. So if I will now save, and if I will now run the app.ts file, like the tsc app.ts, so now what we are doing is first we are giving the prompt value, and the prompt will be equals to the prompt, and it returns the string value. So it will return the value whichever is entered in the prompt. So the while, so till then the prompt value is not equals to the Nikhil, so it will show you the prompt value with that enter your name please, it will show you till that, and once it will get the Nikhil value, so it will just get out of this loop. So now if I will now go to the Google Chrome, and if I will now open the index.html file there with that, so we have to copy the path from here. So the copy path option is there. So if I will just give a path here like this, so now you will see enter the name, and first if I will enter anything but not the name, so then you will see if I will give the OK, so then you will see it will go you enter your name please. So if you will write anything but not the Nikhil, put any number or any value with that, so it will throw you an error, because now the while loop runs with the unspecified number of elements. So till the condition is not met here, it will show you this prompt, and the once it will get the exact value, like if I will give an exact value like the Nikhil whichever is entered, so if I will click on the OK, so then you will see it will not show me once again. So now we will see about the do while loops, and the do while statement executes the statements in its body which is surrounded by the curly braces, and until the condition is false it will run the loop. And the do while statements always executes its loop body at least once. So if we have to write a do while loop here, so if we write an example like the let I will be equals to the 0, and now if we have a do statement like the do, and then the syntax of the do will be the do and then the curly braces, and this is a block, and then it will be the while. So these are the do while statement syntax. So first we have to do the thing till the condition is there. So do, if I will just console.log that it is executed, and then in the while if I will specify a condition that I will be equals to the 1, so now the while condition is false, but the do condition will run only the once. So then if I will now run this code again, if I will now run this tsc app.ts, so now you will see it is showing us the executed, because the do while statement runs at least once inside that, whether the condition is met or not. So if we have to write an example that the if I equals to the 0 and then the I plus plus every time, and then we have to write the condition till the I is less than 10. So it will run from the 1 to 10. It will show us the 1 to 10 because now the ones it will cover this, and then it will run till the 10. If I will just declare the I also, like the executed I. So if I will now run again, so now you will see it is showing us till the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till the 10, because now it will just go to the 1 till the 10, because now the condition is while the I less than 10, so we have to increment the I with that. So now these are the example of the do while loop. So now we have covered all of the loops. So thank you guys for watching the video, and I hope you will like the video, and guys please subscribe to our channel if you are new.